Hi, Aries. Welcome to your November 2021 astrological forecast. So, the month starts off with planets in Scorpio, and where you have Scorpio in your chart is your 8th house. The sun is here up until like the 20th. Mars is here all month. Mercury moves into Scorpio on the 5th, and let's see here, there's a new moon in Scorpio on the 4th. So all of these planets are in your 8th house where you have the planet, the sign of Scorpio, and your 8th house is a money house. Okay, it's other people's money and resources. It's also jointly held property, anything that you could possibly own with someone else. And this also includes like bank accounts and credit cards, things like that. It's not just like physical property or whatever. But anyways, this is just coming off of having planets in Libra, your 7th house of partnerships, close relationships with a friend or a romantic relationship or a business relationship. So this could be like extended into this 8th house where you and someone else decide how much you're going to share with one another. If it's a business partner, that's something that's like up for discussion right now, especially like having Mars here all month. Mars is an aggressive planet. It's a physically aggressive planet. So if there is anything that's due you, as such as like money, because the 8th house is, as always, other people's resources and money, but it's money coming to you through means other than earning it. So if you're due any kind of refund, or this is the house of insurance settlements and legal settlements and credits of any kind, tax returns, bank loans, corrections even from like the IRS or anyone, any kind of financial institution that may have made a mistake or is just outright owes you money. Anyone or any institution, okay, that could possibly owe you money at this time. This is like when you'd be really going after something like that. Especially around that new moon on the 4th, you could have some kind of, if it is like a shared resource of some kind or a partner or something, you could have like some kind of a new arrangement with someone that you share something with them, the use of something. It could even be a car or some other, like an appliance or something or other. It could be a credit card, or you are lending someone money or they're lending you money, or the use of something that you own, okay? Or someone is lending, letting you use something that they own. So that's kind of like what's going on here right now. It's not too big of a deal, but again, the new moon is what brings some kind of new beginning in this area. Okay, this is also the house, I have to say, of transformation. Okay, it's a psychic house though too. Excuse me, psychic ability. Here, along with your 12th house, where you have Pisces and the planet Neptune, very psychic planet, operating both at the same time. So I'd have to say that your hunches are like pretty right on right now, really accurate. If you do have some kind of inkling into, let's say, like an investment possibly, even if it's a gamble, like playing the lottery, I would do something like that right now if I were you. I do have to mention, though, that there's a full moon partial eclipse in the sign of Taurus on the 19th, and where you have Taurus in your chart is your 2nd house of earned income, how you earn your money. It's directly across from the 8th house of Scorpio. So there's something going on here where I would have to say, full moons bring everything to the surface where they could be dealt with. So if there is jointly held property or bank accounts that you share with someone else, or credit cards or whatever, that's when all of this will come out, with that big discussion as to who's spending too much money, or why did you spend this or that on something, frivolous, or whatever, how the money is being spent, where did it go, what's the balance in our bank account. You know, something like that could be going on right now. And like I said, since planets just came from Libra, your opposite sign, the discussion was there already as far as your close relationships go. So it's just continuing to your eighth house of shared everything, even shared debt, though. You know, so that could be one of the things that's up for grabs here around that full moon, of spending too much money and who owes what. Okay. So the sun moves into Sagittarius on the 21st, and Mercury moves here on the 24th. Where you have Sagittarius in your chart is your ninth house of long distance travel and communications and media and publishing, higher learning, legal matters, cultural background, or philosophy, even your personal philosophy, possibly based on someone else's culture right now. Something that you're possibly looking into or interested in. Okay, it's your religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, everything like that. Okay, so you know, Venus was just here. So as far as, like I said, like maybe you might have recently adopted some kind of way of life, you know, that is done in another culture. Maybe it's even something as small as cooking recipes from another culture. It could be anything. It would be a time to possibly even learn another language. Excuse me. If that interests you. Okay, it could be something that you may need to know to get ahead in your career. So it's something that maybe you're possibly looking into learning, or at least considering it. Okay. Mercury here, you know, definitely a lot of communication going on here. Most of it long distance. Okay, people who either live in another country or are at a distance within your own country. Could be in regards to like holidays, things like that. You know, maybe that's why the sun is here this time every year. So, you know, you hear from people that you don't normally hear from, usually around the holidays. But this could be not just cards, you know, Christmas cards or anything like that, or holiday cards. It could be actual phone calls and, you know, emails even, or regular postal mail. Okay. Now, okay, Venus is in Sagittarius still up until the 4th. It was here in October. And it's here for like the first 4 days of November. But then it moves into Capricorn, into your 10th house where you have the sign of Capricorn, and stays in Capricorn until March 6th of 2022. Okay, so this planet is going to be here a really long time, along with Pluto, which is already in Capricorn in your 10th house of your career and your public life, your public persona, how people view and speak about you publicly. Okay, it's how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally. Okay, so I'm going to have to say, because this is happening for such a long period of time, okay, Venus and Pluto together bring about an obsessive quality. Okay, so don't be surprised. I mean, if you were like, you know, in the media or something like that, or if you were a celebrity, or you were out there somewhere in the public eye, I mean, you would have like your own fan club from this transit. You know, you'd be like, it would be like a scene out of the 60s where bands would run down the street with girls screaming and running after them. Okay, this is the kind of obsession I'm talking about. Okay, if you like that sort of thing, great, you know, because there's a possibility of something like this happening just for the fact that these two planets are together for like too long. Okay, it's not just like the month, it's like months together. Okay, so it could start out slowly and then just like reach a certain height and whatever. So it's not going to be immediate, but you might notice that you're getting a lot of attention. Okay, it doesn't even have to be from like a certain group of people. It's just period. You should be getting an awful lot of attention right now. And it does bring about a little bit of like a star quality. Even if you're not in the public eye, there are still people talking about you and asking after you, you know, wondering what's up with you, and they're just curious, you know. Everybody wants to know what you've been up to, or where you've been, or anything about your life, you know. And it's just that, you know, the 10th house is your most public house in your chart, so you're kind of like up for grabs, you know. So I'm just telling you ahead of time, okay? So the major planets, the outer planets, there's still no change really with them. There's still Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius in your 11th house, Neptune in Pisces in your 12th house and it's retrograde, the planet Uranus in Taurus in your 2nd house and it's retrograde, and Pluto in your 10th house in direct motion in Capricorn. So, you know, I mean, there's a lot of changes going on there. I tell you what, I don't even know if there's a Tiger Beat anymore. If there is, you'd be on the cover of Tiger Beat, okay, eventually. Anyways, the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Aries on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And the best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign. Your opposite sign is Libra, and those dates are the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 29th, and 30th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, any kind of speculation or gambling, and anything to do with children is the 10th, 11th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for money is the 4th, 5th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. The best time for your career is the 8th and 9th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 6th, 7th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. So I'd like to thank all my subscribers for your continued support. I really, really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and check out my, like and share this video if you can. But check out my Ask Me a Question in the description box below. It's for people who only want to know maybe one specific thing about their chart and maybe not like all the other stuff. But if you did want to know all the other stuff and have your chart done completely, there's a link there to my website where you can get more information on that. And check out my weekly forecast. So I'll see you next week. Goodbye.